Hello, my name is Marcela Alonso, and welcome to my new Sunday Funday show. So, I wanted to talk about the back history of how this show started and how it came about and everything else. So, if you're following me on my IG, which is Marcela Sobella, I used to have a weekly show that I did every week with different people and everything. It was great doing it. I did it live. This is different. Now I'm doing it in studio, which is cool. And I could pre-tape it, which I kind of like better because a lot of times I couldn't, get my questions right or whatever. With IG, I could only do so much, and I had a lot more restrictions. It's like walking a crazy line, and I said, let me move it over to YouTube where it'd be more beneficial. And I could do it every week, and I can host different comedians all throughout New York and eventually expand from there, maybe even go by coastal to LA. So please hit subscribe. As you know, every Sunday I will be having a different show with a different comic. Currently, we are in New York and we will be showcasing a lot of New York comics for you to enjoy. So you can follow me on my IG, my Facebook, and my TikTok. It is all Marcella Sobella. So let me tell you my little history with comedy and all that. Growing up, I grew up watching Johnny Carson. I loved watching him every night showcase different comedians. And then the other show that I loved, that I absolutely loved, that I watched to this day was I love watching Saturday Night Live. Now, one thing about me, I didn't want to be a comedian. I ended up having a different career than most. I was a stripper for a long period of time. That's what I did. So I sort of was on the stage, but I knew one thing. I love comedy. And again, I don't want to be a comic. So always kind of dreamed of, was inspired by Johnny Carson, and I was inspired by Saturday Night Live. But as an adult, when I moved west to Los Angeles, I discovered the Comedy Store, and it was an amazing place. Different comedians. You would see about like 5 or 6, 7 different comedians. So from there, I kind of knew I wanted to produce something, showcase something different, and present different comedians, and of course share with my social media. I blew up in social media on IG, but it's like kind of boring just posting pictures. Like, who wants to see an IG model all the time? So yeah, I started that Sunday Funday every week live on IG. It was going well. And I said to myself, let me just do it. Let me do it right. Let me go in studio. Let me get the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Every week. Let me just go and do this because I've always inspired to be a Mitzi Shore, where you suddenly find comics and then they blow up before you. So that was my inspiration of doing the Sunday Funday because I wanted something other than like the typical adult work. I wanted to showcase comedians and enjoy it. I never was one. I never like going to. I never enjoyed going to concerts. Why I never enjoyed going to concerts is I spent many, 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 many years working in strip clubs, hearing loud music, all sorts of songs and everything. I even have like PTSD because I worked in nude clubs and it wasn't pretty. Like some Nine Inch Nail songs I can't even listen to without getting triggered. It's bad. So my nights off, I will never forget uh, the year 2000. Probably the most iconic person that I've ever seen perform was George Carlin, before, the late great George Carlin, before he passed. So I have a history with me loving comedy, me loving comics. Like I said, I never was into music, never chased musicians, never chased rappers. I could care less because I pretty much on my days off, I kind of want silence. And then if I'm going to go anywhere, it's going to be to a comedy show. That's what I enjoy. Currently, I'm in New York, and I've discovered The Stand, which has to be my favorite club of all time that I love going to, and I enjoy so much. And I love meeting all these comedians that make me laugh. Who doesn't? You know, who wants to be depressed and down in the dumps all the time? So that was the basis for my Sunday Funday. And I hope you watch every week. You kind of gave me the idea for the Sunday Funday show because when I first got monetized on IG, you told me, do a show?
I remember when you got monetized IG, I said we should do an IG live where you get to talk about other things besides, things that interest you, and you love comedy.
Yeah.
And you were really enjoying being booked on these comedy shows.
Yes.
And I think it really inspired you to get in the heads of these comedians because it interested you so much of what made
I
them
like them
tick.
because it's boring. I've been in the adult industry so long.
Right.
And it gets, the same questions, like.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it was enjoyment. So you opened up, you pushed me in a good, positive way.
I did push. And you know what? It's funny. You know how on Facebook they give you your memories of the. It's been well over a year for the live IG live.
That
for
is
Sunday
no more.
Funday. That is no more.
But we're going to be doing
did over a year though.
Over a year.
And now which it should. Everything needs to evolve, and it's involved into this wonderful studio show.
Yes. All because of my PR lady here. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Lainie Speiser, and I am Marcela Alonso's publicist.
Yes, so she is the one that does all the bookings. So in the future, don't come to me and ask me. You go hunt her down. Not that I
can't stand it when they do that. When you have it there posted that I press contact Miss Lainie.
So for me. Because I'm a minority, I have to wake up in the morning and do a million things, and I have to hustle a million things. It's not that I don't want to set it up. It's just easier this way. She's one of the few people that work for me. And it's just nicer to have it because she's in control of the time. Because if I talk to you individually and you're running late, I'm going to take it out on you.
Absolutely. No, it's true.
I'm going to get mad. Well, no, both my,
they're both running late. Not that late, but both 10 minutes late for the train.
Which is fine. But,
and as long as they say so, I appreciate that. They each texted.
That's appreciative. But I just don't have the time, but nothing's worse is when you book something with somebody and then the last minute they cancel. Ugh. I don't want to be the one. So she takes it. She takes it for me.
Yes.
Sort of. She takes it.
Take it good.
And deals with it. So if anybody's ever interested and you're a comic or you're an influencer of some kind, this is the woman that you need to hit up.
Yes, please.
And her IG is?
It's Miss Lainie, and that's MISSLAINIE.
And tell us your history of what you worked for so people know. And because she's got a very interesting career path. It's crazy.
Well, I am a publicist. I started out for the first 20 years of my career as an adult industry publicist for the Fortune 500 magazines, which was Penthouse, Gallery, Fox, I started with Gallery, Fox, went up to Penthouse and the Penthouse Forum. And after that, I decided to just go out on my own and rep individual performers because that was always my favorite part of working at those magazines, was working for the actual centerfolds and adult stars. And I started doing that, and somehow it melted into repping comedians.
How did with the comedians? Who was it that got you started?
I believe it probably started because of Alia Janine. She was an adult star who, quit the business, left LA, moved to New York, just started wearing hoodies and jeans and went out to the club, started doing stand-up, and hired me to publicize that she was now doing stand-up. And, as we're running around the circles, I think the comedians, and as I'm sure you've learned from interviewing them for a year and a half, they're a very competitive sort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very ambitious, very competitive.
Yes.
And I do believe they were looking and saw if she can do that, for a retired porn star who became a stand-up, I've been doing stand-up for 20 years. Why doesn't she rep me? And I started repping people like Dante Nero and Von Decarlo and Ryan Long. And right now, as you know, you love Brett that
Yes.
that I've been working with, Brett Raybould, sorry, and it's just been going on, and I love it. It's been great, and then also through a client of mine, the Manhattan Madam, Kristen
Mhm.
Davis, I
There's
started.
another interesting client.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
very interesting client. So for her, I ghost wrote her memoirs when she got out of Rikers,
Mhm.
and then through doing her PR, we both met Roger Stone, who
And that's a
is
very interesting.
he's Donald Trump's political advisor, as well as the political advisor of a lot of, he worked for Nixon.
Mhm.
He's worked for all of the Bush administration, Bush number one, I believe. And he hired me to do his PR for his books because he writes a lot of books. And so the next thing you know, I'm running around town with this man wearing suspenders and a bow tie and, who's like, I would think I had nothing in common with, but we ended up having a great time together. He's a cool guy. And that was hilarious, to walk around town with someone that half the world loves and half the world hates. So either he got handshakes or double fingers up in the air, and that was fun. And how did I meet you, Marcella? Now that we're
So
talking, how did
so
we hook up?
first it was Brittany Andrews told me. Remember I told you the story.
Yes.
She told me about you, but she didn't explain, and she just told me about a podcast or something, and she didn't really say. And then it was Kelly Roberts that said,
Yeah.
"No, you need to hire her."
Yes. Now I remember. It was Kelly. Kelly's the one.
Yes,
Thank
Kelly's
you,
the one.
Kelly
She broke it.
Roberts.
And Brittany Andrews too. But
And I love Brittany too. They're
yeah,
both
so
great ladies.
Kelly told me which is good because I do want a career change. I want to exit
Yeah.
off the adult world. It's been too long.
Well, I mean, it's the I love the industry, but I think anyone gets tired of doing the same thing. I
Right.
think everyone needs to evolve.
Yeah.
And I like that you wanted to sort of evolve your career into something different and of things that you're interested in and your
Right.
passions. And the comedians love you. I
Mhm.
love going to shows with you. We go to
Oh,
stand-up
that's the fun
shows
part.
a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot of fun. And I think the comedians, they love adult stars, and I feel there's like kind of a weird connection there.
There is where they both tour.
Yeah, they
The
both
the ups and downs of the business.
the ups and downs, the hustle, the vulnerability you
Yeah.
both have to do, to
Mhm.
expose yourself that way. And I think the comedians kind of enjoy opening up to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you're this, adult mother superior, thing to these stand-up comedians, and they love doing it, and I think it's exciting what's going on here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, make sure you clicked on that subscribe to Marcela
Subscribe.
Alonso's YouTube. And you could follow Lainie at your IG.
IG is MISSLAINIE. That is Miss Lainie.